Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, happy Easter. Well, unhappy Easter thanks to the New York Yankees going down the Camden Yards and laying an absolute egg, really, of a weekend. They did get one win out of it, dropped 2 out of 3, but really it just feels like they got swept because, the offense was just terrible. Really, outside of, one inning on the Saturday night game, game 2, where they scored 4 runs in the inning, the offense was completely inept all weekend and kind of, again, makes Easter and those celebrating Passover kind of miserable. And kind of the New York Knicks used to do this back in the 90s. They would just always blow a big game, it seems like, on Easter and just make the holiday miserable. And so I guess the Yankees are picking up the slack for that one since the Knicks are just completely out of it and they're just gone in terms of the New York sports scene. But this was a terrible weekend. They go down to Camden Yards. Baltimore Orioles were 1-5 again. And the Yankees go out there, and you figure it'll be an opportunity for the Yankees to finally bust loose, really, they should go down there and sweep them, but it wasn't the case. And can't blame the pitching. The pitching was actually quite outstanding. No one really, on the pitching side of it really should be blamed. It's just the offense, laying complete eggs. Game 1, they get a double by Stanton, and that's the only run they get for the game. And the game ends up going to the 11th inning where, Chapman walks in the winning run. Now people are going to, blame Chapman for that one, but it really wasn't his fault. He's into a bases loaded situation. Comes up against Mullins, and that's why Boone brought him in. I think lifetime Mullins was 0-3 against him with 3 strikeouts, and Chapman delivers. He strikes the guy out, and then unfortunately the next batter, 3-2 on Urias, and unfortunately Chapman throws like a high breaking ball, borderline pitch. I thought it was actually outside, but of course Boone's going to say it was a strike, and of course he goes nuts, starts running after the umpire, and actually threw a kick near the door as the umpire exited off the field. And I don't know, we'll see if Boone might get a fine for that or something, or maybe a 1-game suspension, maybe he went a little out of there. But again, I can't blame Chapman in that situation. It was a close pitch, and you got to blame the offense. 11 innings, and you just muster up 1 run against the Baltimore Orioles. There's no excuse for that. Okay, they come back game 2, bounce back a little bit, and have a little bit of an outburst. They were behind 2-0, but they put up a 4th spot, and eventually win the game 5-2. And again, Donaldson finally gets his first home run. Just kind of get that off the schneid, and hopefully he could get going with the bat a little bit because he's kind of been a little lagging there, but I think it'll be fine. But in game 3, it was a real heartbreaker because Nestor Cortez pitched an absolute gem, 5 innings, no runs, and 12 strikeouts, including one of the immaculate innings, as they say, in the 4th inning, getting 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches. Again, the Yankees have had a couple of that recently. I think last season, season before, Michael King might have had one as well. So it seemed like the Yankees are getting those lately. But a brilliant performance by Nestor Cortez. 12 strikeouts in 5 innings. And again, his stuff, how it is. He barely touches 90, really. It's just, herky-jerky motion, a little off-speed, a little craftiness, just to show you don't need to throw triple digits to be successful. But again, the Yankee offense gave you absolutely nothing. And it's a 0-0 game up into the 8th inning. Loaiza, who was battling there, had 2 outs, almost got out of the inning, but eventually walked, bases loaded. You have to credit Robinson Chirinos a little bit. He put out like a 11 pitch at bat on Loaiza, fouling with pitch after pitch after pitch after pitch. So he did a good job there. So and I guess Loaiza couldn't put him away. So now you have bases loaded, and now old friend Rougned Odor comes up. And the former Yankee, the Yankees had him last season. And, of course, now he's with Baltimore. He can grow his beard back. He has his beard back now. When he was with the Yankees, he was barely like a 210 hitter. But, of course, he's a 1-1 count. Loaiza throws a fastball in there, and then Odor smokes it up the middle, brings in 2 runs. Then the Orioles chip away another 2 runs, and then finally put up 5 runs in the inning, and the Yankees end up losing the game 5-0 in this miserable fashion. Again, nothing from the offense, about 4 hits. And Gleyber Torres, he had a miserable weekend. He went like 0 for 10 for the whole weekend. Now, in the Saturday night game, he did flash a leather, made a great play at second base, whoop-de-doo. But with the bat, he was just absolutely terrible this whole weekend. So now the Yankees have to go limp into Detroit on Tuesday. So they get off Monday to kind of lick their wounds a little bit, get their head together. And then Cole makes his 3rd start of the season in Detroit on Tuesday. And let's see if he could finally put a good, clean performance like we saw with Severino a couple of nights ago. But really disappointed weekend for the Yankees. And I know a lot of fans say, oh, it's last year all over again. No offense. Well, I'm not going to go there just yet. It is a weekend. And them to the Baltimore Orioles, they're 1-5. I know they're not a great team, but they're all professional baseball players on the team. And when your back's up against the wall and your pitches are going to step up a little bit. And maybe the Yankees are a little too high in the hog coming down there. Just think, we'll just walk into this place and win. But you got to remember too, the Orioles will kind of press against the wall, and they're a major league team, and they're going to react. So kind of puts the Yankee back at 500. They actually started Game 3 in first place. Crazy enough, at this point you don't even look at the standings, but just what all the negatives that some of the negatives that the Yankees did have, they were technically a first place team going to this game, but now probably Toronto's going to leapfrog them as this game's actually going underway as I'm speaking. But again, don't look at the standings right now. You really don't look at the standings almost until like June at this point. But again, terrible weekend for the Yankees, terrible weekend for Gleyber Torres. And the only thing we're going to be happy about is this Nestor Cortez so far, off to a great start of the season, and hopefully he can just keep building towards that. So we've seen overall the Yankee starters have been good. I mean, Tyone was good Saturday night. Montgomery was good enough Friday night. So I mean, you got three starting pitches putting in winning type performances. It's just Tyone just couldn't give him the length, so he couldn't get the win. But overall, it was a decent start for him. So I guess the only thing you'd be happy about at this point is that the starting rotation is pretty good right now. There's some question marks about Cortez. Can he do this again? Well, he's doing it. So really, it's funny enough. The only starting pitcher you're kind of worried about is a little bit is Cole, ironically. And if that's the case, I think he'd be okay because I think he'd be fine. And overall, the bullpen's okay, even though now got these little issues. I don't think Loizaga was really an issue. It's just his pitch count was getting up there, up into the high 20s again. And Chirinos put a 10 pitch at bat on him, fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch. And I just think Loizaga just tired out a little bit. So unfortunately, they were able to work him. So again, looking to Detroit, and so we'll take it from there, and then hopefully finally get a good start out of Cole. So then Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. If you're not already subscribe to it. And of course, again, go on YouTube as well, Section 420 Talkin Yankees. Catch me as well, some video version of me and some of these podcasts as well. And you can go back to some previous episodes. You want to see some old interviews and stuff like that with people like Ron Bloomberg and umpire Dale Scott. So check that out, and we'll catch you next time. Happy Easter.